Hey guys, this is Mr. O'Brien, and this is your science help video. Now again, this series talks about topics in biology, chemistry, as well as Keystone Review, and just general science topics in general. So this topic focuses on biological macromolecules. Now when we talk about macromolecules, we're talking about the big molecules that are important in life: proteins, nucleic acids, carbohydrates, lipids. These four are going to be the focus of this video. So the first thing we want to talk about is organic chemistry in general. Now, organic chemistry is this branch of chemistry that focuses on carbon-based molecules. So if we look over here, all of these molecules that you see over here are carbon-based. Each one of these points indicates that there's a carbon molecule located there. Organic chemistry focuses solely on carbon-based molecules. So carbon is a very important molecule. Carbon has an atomic number of 6. Now, why carbon is such a good molecule of life is that it has 4 valence electrons. This means that it can form 4 bonds with other molecules and form very large complex bonds. Now, why this is carbon has 6 electrons but 4 valence electrons. So usually, or for most molecules except for hydrogen, molecules want to have 8 electrons in the outer shell. This is known as the octet rule. Okay? And the octet rule just simply states that all molecules want those 8 molecules. So because carbon has 4, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 places for molecules to bind. Now because carbon can do this, what happens is carbon usually ends up forming large chains, okay? And usually carbon and hydrogen are the 2 primary molecules, but you'll often see carbon forming these very large chained molecules, and because of those 4 places to bond, it can branch off and form very, very complex structures, okay? So again, this is what helps the carbon helps molecules form very large complex molecules. Now these complex molecules, these large molecules, are called macromolecules. Macro means large, and obviously molecules of just formations of chemical bonds that occur. So again, we talk about carbohydrates, proteins, nucleic acids, and lipids. So the first type of macromolecule that we have is carbohydrates. Now carbohydrates, these are simple sugars, okay? And carbohydrates are just sugars, okay? Now these sugars are what allow our body to function. So carbohydrates are sugar, starch, or other organic compound that the digestive system can convert to glucose. And glucose is just simply the sugar that our body uses. And they use this to make energy, such as glucose and fructose. So carbohydrates are, again, a sugar. Now the monomer means the single unit of a carbohydrate is monosaccharides. And monosaccharides means literally one sugar. And carbohydrates are made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Now, in carbohydrates, how you can tell that there are carbohydrates is that for a carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen ratio, it comes up in a 1 to 2 to 1 ratio. So that means for every 1 carbon, there's 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. And simply, carbohydrates are used for quick energy. So like when you eat a candy bar, this energy is used to kind of give you that little boost. So sugars are used for that quick energy in the body. And again, 1 to 2 to 1 ratio is the formula that is the distinguishing factor. Now the second type of macromolecule is lipids. Lipids are fats, okay? Fats are cholesterol that fuels metabolism and contributes to the absorption of nutrients. Now, fats are more used for long-term storage. Now, the monomers that we find in lipids there's a couple of them. There's glycerols, okay? There's fatty acids, and there's also steroids. So all three of these are a monomer that we can see. Now, lipids are as well made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, but they do not have any sort of ratio. And lipids are used for energy storage, okay? Just like when, you store fat in your body for long term, okay? Energy storage. Now, they're also used in membranes in our body, as well as steroids and hormones. So lipids are used in a very, very large amount of different things in the body. The third type of macromolecule we have is nucleic acids. Now, nucleic acids are polymers made of nucleotides, okay, including DNA and RNA, which are our information storage mechanisms. Now, the monomer of nucleic acids is, like I said, nucleotides. And you notice that RNA has a lot of the same nucleotides as DNA. The only difference is uracil and thymine between the two. Now, nucleic acids are made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and nitrogen, okay? So this is, the phosphorus and nitrogen are kind of what are the distinguishing factor between them. But nucleic acids are used for heredity and the transfer of information between mom or mother, father, and offspring, okay? And these are also the code. It's the code for an amino acid sequence, okay? But mostly, nucleic acids are used for passing on information from generation to generation. The last type of macromolecule that we have are proteins. Now, proteins are very important because proteins are what enzymes are made of. Now, enzymes are what are known as biological catalysts. And what these do is they speed up reactions in the body. But the monomer of proteins are amino acids. And proteins are made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur, and nitrogen. And what their function is are enzymes, like I said. But proteins also have a lot of other different functions. They also provide support. They're a type of hormone. They're a type of, they're used in our blood to transport things. So proteins, mostly enzymes, but they do a lot of other things as well. So hopefully this video helps you out. Again, this is a review of macromolecules, more focusing on carbohydrates, lipids, nucleic acids, and proteins. Hope this video helps you out. This is Mr. O'Brien signing off.